Welcome to Coach's Corner. My name's Alexa Gonzalez, and today I'm here with Jerry Foley, head coach of the men's and women's swimming and diving team here at SU. First, I want to congratulate you on a really awesome season. Although the men's team came up just short, the women's team captured their 6th straight landmark conference championship. In what ways have you maintained such a tradition of excellency within your program?
Well, I try to approach each year as a new year. We just try to do our best and improve each individual. And if our best is good enough to win, so be it. I don't talk to the teams, either one, about winning conferences. We just talk about developing and improving throughout the year. And we set up our program to peak at the right time of the year and to be our best at conferences. And our best so far has been good enough to win on the women's side, and our best on the men has been a strong second for the last 4 years.
Both teams consistently perform competitively, and there's really no doubt that your rosters are filled with incredibly talented swimmers. So what was your proudest moment as a coach during this past season?
Really the way, to be honest, we came together as a team. I thought I was extremely pleased with how we really support each other throughout the year. I think a lot of that coming together comes on training trip. We go down to Florida for anywhere from 8 to 10 days every winter break, and it's a real tough training environment. But it really pulls the team together because they're all suffering together, and they kind of support each other through it. And we always come out of that a much closer team, stronger team, united team. And I think, just seeing our team at conferences, our level of enthusiasm, our level of support, we had the highest level of all of that. And I think that shows then in the pool with performance. In addition, on a sad note, this past weekend, one of our swimmers, Eric Lawrence's mom, passed away. And the team, on their own accord, we got a bus for them because they wanted to all go to the funeral and be there for Eric, and they all did. And that was all them. So if I was to say what was so far to me, that just resonates with me at a real high level, that they really care so much about each other, and that's just a perfect example of it.
It's a really good example of how a team becomes a family and how even out of the pool they always have each other's backs. It's really awesome to see that in your athletes. In the championships, the women's team gained a total of 872 points, the highest cumulative score in SU's past 6 titles. So in your opinion, what set this team apart from those in the past?
I think really the past 2 years, we've certainly have had a little more talent. That's not to say the previous, 4 times we didn't, because they worked all just equally hard. But I think each year it seems like we're able to, through recruiting, because of our success, attract kids coming in with a little more talent to start. And then with our philosophy of it's all about improvement, if they have a higher start value, we're only going to get better. So I think it's just sort of built one year to the next that we're able to keep attracting, a little bit more talented kids, a little bit more accomplished, but still focused on real great kids with good character. That's always been our trademark.
After a disappointing end to the men's season, in what ways do you plan on preparing for an equally challenging 2016-2017 season?
Well, I wasn't disappointed with the men's season, so second place is not disappointing at all. They achieved a high level of success for them. In fact, there's what we call PowerPoints in swimming, where you calculate the value of a swim, and it gives you so many points. If you actually compare the men and women, the men PowerPoints were 2 points higher than the women. So while they didn't win the championship, they still had a very successful season in my mind. Nevertheless, we do strive to improve. It would be nice to get that first men's title next year, and I think we're very optimistic that next year can be that year for us.
For both the men's and women's teams, we'll be using key swimmers in David Chekai, Duncan Frazier, Julia Doherty, Kelsey Lessard, and Valerie Stearns. They all played huge roles in the past conference championship, in which they all gained their own personal records. So how do you predict the dynamic of the team to change in their absence?
The one thing I've learned through 32 years of coaching is nothing's predictable. So with that said, that is what I can predict, that it will be unpredictable, so it's hard to say, but you're right in that the team dynamics will change because there'll be a different group of leaders. There'll be a whole new class of freshmen coming in trying to assimilate to our program. There'll be kids that go abroad in the fall, so we'll be losing some of those talented kids, and how do we fill in the gaps until they come back? So, you know, it's a process that we have to start over every year with team building, good camaraderie, skill development, and, you know, then good, you know, focus, you know, through our training phase. And then, you know, just enjoying the second semester when we're really at our best at coming off training trips. So that's probably the best I can answer that.
Looking forward to next season, you'll bring back many young talented swimmers such as Lindsay Van Kirk, Katie Willis, Eric Lawrence, and David Miller. Do you expect them to go into leadership roles, and do you expect this talented team of swimmers to exceed the successes of your incredible 2015-16 team?
The only thing I expect is that, you know, we're going to continue to improve, you know, and that the current athletes in the program are going to buy into that, you know, and I've already seen that through the spring. You know, for the first time since I've been here, we actually have a group of individuals going to the weight room a couple of days a week and lifting as a group. You know, because they recognize that if they want to continue to improve and have the program move forward, they have to do a little bit more on their own, and in particular in the off season. And so we have people in the weight room, we have people in the pool every afternoon on their own during rec swim-in. So I like the level of enthusiasm. The individuals you just named are certainly some of the, you know, more talented people we have in the program, and people will look for them towards leadership because of their talent. But there are other individuals that I expect will provide great leadership roles, you know, because, you know, they've been on the team and they just have great character.
So are there any words of advice you could offer to other coaches to create a program in which a winning tradition becomes so natural, and just to create a winning program?
Words of advice, you know, kind of, you got to have sort of some values and philosophy that you believe in, and really communicate that and get individuals to embrace that and sort of, you know, have congruence throughout the program, and that they want the same things that you're trying to do. And, you know, and sometimes that takes a little bit. As you take over a program, to have the individuals buy into your philosophy and your vision and what you believe is possible. But in the end, it doesn't matter what I believe. It's really what the athletes believe and what their vision is for the team and for the program. So the real key is to get them to believe what you believe. And that doesn't come easily, but it certainly comes when you're really vested in the program, and you care about your athletes, and they see that, and then they start believing. You get a little success along the way, and they start believing that they can accomplish what you believe and see they can accomplish.
Thank you so much for being here today. This is Coach's Corner.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.